Hi. Kind of awkward because I haven't made a video in like 7 months. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Haley and I go to the University of Pennsylvania. Basically, I want to make a video like this a long time ago, actually, probably in like around February, March, April, or at least like during the school year, but I felt like it probably wasn't the best idea to unload all of this while I was going through it and when I was kind of in a low, sad place in my life in terms of how I felt about my future prospects and just honestly life in general. I feel like I'll get to this later on, but second semester of last semester was one of the hardest semesters or kind of like periods of times in my life, which isn't saying a lot because relatively I've had a very easy childhood with like minimal worries and real life problems, and honestly even the problems I'm going to talk about today, it's not really real life problems, I guess. Like, it's all in my head, I know that, but I thought I would just unload to all of you guys who are maybe in college and can relate, or people who are applying to colleges. But yeah, let's just get into it and talk about everything I don't like about the Ivy League and why I personally feel like a very big Ivy League failure right now. First thing I want to talk about, I just don't think I realized how hard it would be to go to a school like Penn. My entire life, I went through life thinking I was relatively smart and that, wherever I went to, whether it be, elementary school, middle school, and even my high school, which I had to apply to get into since it was a boarding school, and it was like the best high school in Michigan, I was able to keep up with other people. I always somehow managed to kind of be in like the top 10%-ish of anywhere I went to. And even when it came to like tests and assignments and just like the stuff we were learning in class, I never felt, except for my Algebra 2 honors class in high school, I never felt like completely stumped and like no matter how hard I worked at something, it just wasn't working for me. Because for me, I felt like if I ever had a problem, it was that I wasn't trying hard enough. Everything I just said just completely dismantled and burned to the ground when I went to college, because the majority of people at Penn, right, they were all smart. They all had amazing extracurriculars. They were, like the best of the best, I guess, are supposed to go to these Ivy League schools. And then suddenly I'm thrown into that pool and suddenly I just feel so average. And not even average sometimes, I feel below average. And like everyone around me is smarter than me and trying harder. I didn't really realize beforehand how hard that would be kind of like on my psyche. I think I just very violently realized how relative life actually is. Even 1 year in this, I guess, community and energy kind of completely shifted my self-esteem and how I viewed myself. Anytime I talk about this to my parents or like anyone, honestly, they always tell me, gosh, Haley, you only feel this way because you go to this college, right? If you went to, another college that isn't as, I guess, rigorous and pre-professional as Penn is, you probably wouldn't be thinking these things. You would probably be fine. Because the majority of colleges, the students there don't worry about getting the best job at the best place. But then it's just because I'm at Penn and I'm constantly comparing even my goals and my life aspirations to other people. Going into college, I don't really want to go into consulting. Honestly, I was like, I don't even know what that is. But then suddenly I'm at Penn and everyone here does consulting or finance. And suddenly I'm like, oh, maybe I should be doing consulting and finance. That seems like a pretty good idea for me. Well, no, it isn't, because I would hate consulting and finance. Maybe not consulting, but I would hate finance, okay? So, I don't know. I'm ranting at this point. It feels like there's a bar that I'm trying to reach and grab at, but then the bar isn't even really there. There is no bar. I just think there's a bar because every time I try to grab for it, it just gets higher and higher and higher. It's almost like a rainbow. Or like, like in the desert, when you're in the desert and like it's really hot and then like you see like something like the reflection that looks like water and then you walk towards the water but there's no water. That's how I feel right now. This was only like the first thing that I want to talk about out of like 4 things, so I feel like this video is gonna be super long, but whatever, deal with it. The next thing that I want to talk about was that I don't even know what my goal is. I don't know what I'm working towards. Like, I felt like in high school, I had a very clear goal that I was working towards, and that was college, getting into a good college. And I felt like I had a relatively good grasp of how to reach that goal of, I have to get good grades, I have to do good extracurriculars. And if you do those things well enough, then you'd be able to go to a good college. And also, that goal was very clear in my head of, I want to go to a good college. And I know what a lot of people say of like, oh, I thought that after college and getting into a good college, that'd be the end, like I'd be set for life. I'm not saying that was me, because that wasn't me. I didn't think that college was going to be easy. I knew that college was going to be hard and probably harder than high school, but I thought it would be based on doing relatively the same things. Like I thought in college, if I studied hard and I did clubs, then eventually, I'd get a good job, which I guess is true. I'm not saying that's false, but then I think the underlying thing that you need to have taken care of is that you know what you want to do with your life, right? Because in high school, I really didn't think about what I want to do as a job. I honestly didn't even know what major I was going to apply to my schools as until it was like not even a month before I submitted my college applications in. The only reason why I chose engineering was because in high school, my favorite subject was math, but I didn't like abstract math, so I was like, I can't major in math. And I was like, I also kind of like science. I liked physics, like AP physics in high school, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go into engineering and see how it goes. And also in high school, I felt that I have freedom to like try something out, and if I don't like it, I can switch and it would be fine. I really don't feel like that in college. I don't know if it's just my school, but I felt like even as soon as I was a freshman, it was kind of expected of me to know what I wanted to do, or at least relatively know what major that I would want to do. And at the very latest, you would have to decide that by like beginning of sophomore year. Because if you don't know by then, you're not on track to graduate in 4 years anymore. But I don't know, it's just so frustrating for me as someone who hates making decisions and likes having as many open choices and possibilities as possible. And I feel like I'm at a point in college right now, and I felt this very deeply second semester of sophomore year, but I felt like it was too late to change anything. Even if I want to do something different or change my major, it's too late for me now because I can't graduate in 4 years if I do that. And then you might be asking, oh, what's so wrong about taking a 5th year of college? The problem is my financial aid only covers me for 4 years or 8 semesters. After those 8 semesters, I'm on my own. I need to pay for college myself. And can I do that? I don't think so. I will say, like, out of a lot of things that I've done before, I do enjoy it, and I enjoy relatively the stuff I'm learning about. But when I think into my future and think about, okay, is this something that I can see myself doing for the rest of my life, or at least work that has to do with what I'm studying, I really don't see it for myself being a mechanical engineer. It's fun for me in the way, not completely, but like the way I like cooking. It's like I like cooking, but do I want to be a chef? Maybe I do want to be a chef, but I don't think so. Like, I don't think I would enjoy that line of work as a career, right? Even though I like experimenting with it and learning about it. I just feel like right now I'm surrounded by so many people who know what they want to do and what career that they're moving towards. And I see how hard they're working towards that. Like the people who are focusing on consulting or finance, I see them craving to get into these consulting clubs and these finance clubs, and I see them kind of like doing everything in their power and like wanting to do that work to get to that place. But it's like, that's not the same with me for like any of the engineering clubs. I honestly could care less. But then that also seems off to me, right? Because like, if I really wanted to be a mechanical engineer, wouldn't I want to take the steps to reach that goal and be yearning for these mechanical engineering internships and clubs? But I'm really not. Like, I could care less. Yeah, so now I'm at a place where I'm like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Especially because I did a mechanical engineering research internship the summer after my freshman year, and I absolutely hated it. I feel bad because the professor and like the people were super nice. I don't know, maybe I'll just be miserable in a job that I don't want for the rest of my life. let's just move on. And then the third reason why I feel like an Ivy League failure. I feel like this is like a bad, like, what is it, like negative feedback loop or positive feedback loop or whatever, but it's just so pre-professional. And I know that this is one of the biggest like marketed thing about my school. It feels like every single person you meet, it somehow is brought up of, oh, did you get an internship yet? Oh, what internship are you doing? Oh, what clubs are you doing? It just drives me crazy. Like every single interaction feels like it's a competition of like, you know, who's doing better, who's in the better clubs, who's getting less sleep, who's working harder, I guess, who's doing the best in their classes, and it's just so annoying, which is part of the reason why I'm not even the biggest fan of Penn people in general. I'm making a generalization. I definitely think the friends that I have now are like the best friends that I've had so far in my life, but that doesn't mean I like Penn people in general. It just feels like everyone is so hyper focused on getting a job, and not just any job, but you need to get like a job at a top 5 company, like a FANG company or an investment bank like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. Even like, it's so crazy. At my school at Penn, getting a job at Bank of America is not good. Like it's okay, like it's average. Like my roommate got an internship for Bank of America next summer, and her friends and her business frat people told her not to take it because they said that it's not good enough, which I think is mind-boggling to me, because if I ever got an opportunity to work at Bank of America, I would take it. Like it's like if you don't get that 6 figures at JP Morgan, McKinsey, or Google or Facebook or somewhere like that, you're a failure at my school. You're at the bottom of the bunch. You're below average. Can you believe that? If you don't get a job somewhere like that, you're below average. Also, crazy thing about my school, the regular track of like your career path at my school is you need to get, and trust, I very much embroiled myself into this mindset of after freshman year, you need to get a, maybe not a good internship, but something like a research something, an internship, and you get that internship so you can put it on your resume to get a sophomore year summer internship, and then you put that internship on your resume again so you can get a really good junior year summer internship. Like junior year summer is when you want to get an internship at the place you want to end up working at. So a lot of people junior year get to work at like Facebook, Google, Amazon, you know, McKinsey, what other consulting companies, Morgan Stanley, all those places. That's like the most important internship of college. And then hopefully from that junior year summer internship, you'll get a return offer. And so you won't even have to worry about senior year and your grades, and you'll just be able to go straight into that company. It's just so stressful for me because I am barely halfway through my college experience, and already I need to think about what company I want to end up working at after college. And the thing is, you apply for these internships in the fall, and for like consulting and finance, you apply to those even earlier, like in the summer or like the spring beforehand. So it just feels like I'm already out of time. Like I need to decide what I want to do, and if I don't get a good internship this time around, then I'm kind of screwed and I'm behind everyone else again. TLDR, my career prospects are kind of in the tank right now because I don't even really know what I want to do with my life. Yeah, I don't know. Just like a quick rundown, like I did my mechanical engineering research internship freshman summer, and then I hella procrastinated on internships sophomore year. It might have been because I was going through a really bad breakup, but and that's not an excuse though. I don't know. I'm just very uninterested in the whole job finding prospect. Even though I know it's something I need to do and it stresses me out so much, it's like my least favorite thing to do. Like working on my resume, working on cover letters, it's literally like ugh, like I don't want to do it. I didn't get the best internship, and actually like I wouldn't even consider what I did like a full-on internship. I'm trying to shift into tech of like everyone is doing right now. My goal right now is to be a software engineer, but I haven't taken a lot of computer science classes, and I definitely have not taken enough computer science classes and like high level classes to be able to get an actual computer science internship. So I actually took like a boot camp internship combination thing where it's like For 2 weeks, you basically go through a computer science boot camp and learn a lot of the basics of like front end software engineering, and then they place you with a company and then you do an internship there for a month. And so I did that and it was actually pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed that more than I enjoyed anything else. But then now, okay, I know I want to do software engineering, but I'm not going to give up on my mechanical engineering degree because it just feels like such a waste to give up on it now. But then also I can't pursue a computer science degree also. So now I'm kind of stuck where I need to figure out, okay, how can I get an internship with a computer science minor? Last reason why I don't feel the best right now about school and my career prospects, and like a downside that I see about the Ivy League, I guess. This sounds so pretentious, oh my gosh. I felt like all the work and energy that I put into getting to this place where I am going to Penn was kind of wasted, and I felt so burnt out. And I think that's partially because, I very much like my freshman year. Like I said, by the end of high school, I was so burnt out. I want to relax. I want to have fun, to be honest. So I very much focused on relaxing and fun. Not that I was doing bad in my classes. I focused on my classes, but I wasn't really focused on any of the extra stuff, right? Like the clubs and stuff my freshman year. And then even sophomore year, I was still, I think, trying to get my footing of like what I want to do, and I didn't know what kind of clubs I want to be in. So then that's kind of like how I spent my 2 years. But now it kind of feels like I spend too much time relaxing and I'm kind of too far behind to catch up on reaching those career goals that I originally wanted to reach. I feel like while I've been relaxing freshman year and part of sophomore year, everyone else around me has still been working hard, right? So it's like, even though I got to this place through high school, right? I kind of stopped here and went on like cruise control, where everyone started off in the same place going into college, right? But then everyone's like working hard and going like this, but I'm just kind of like cruising along. Even while trying to recover from this burnout from high school, I was still being burnt out in college. Like last semester, I've never felt more burnout in my life. It was like every single week was a constant cycle of classes Monday through Friday. And then Friday, I would have a big problem set due for my thermal class. And then Saturday midnight, I would have two of my biggest mechanical engineering classes and my math class problem sets due midnight of Saturday. So my schedule is literally go to class Monday through Friday and then spend the entire week kind of working on my Friday problem set, and then I'll turn that in and I'll be like, oh, finally, I'm good. But no, I'm not actually good, because after that, literally sometimes even straight after turning in my thermo homework, I would just be in the library or at Starbucks and I would just spend the entire day, like I'm talking 12 hours, just working on my problem sets that were due at midnight. And then when I would turn in my midnight homework on Saturday after being so stressed because it was the hardest class that I've ever taken in my life. That was one of those classes where no matter how much I tried and how much I tried to understand the material, I just never got it. It never clicked with me. And so I was just always stressed about that. And then after turning it in, I'd be so burnt out. I would be so stressed, and all of that would be kind of like lifted from me. So then I would go out with my friends and have fun. And then Sunday I would recover from Saturday night and then also be really tired and just stressed about Monday. And then it was just a constant cycle of doing that over and over again. And I had a midterm like every 2 weeks. Like I would have like midterms 3 weeks in a row, like one a week, sometimes two a week, and then I'd have like 1 or 2 week break, and then I would have another midterm. That's not a midterm at that point. And I also frankly don't have that much confidence in myself right now that I'm gonna be able to get a good job and a job that I like and respect and feel like is good enough where I can be happy with it. So this whole sophomore year was honestly the year of avoidance, of avoiding the facts and reality that this is gonna happen whether I wanted to or not. I'm gonna graduate whether I want to or not, and I need to get my shit together and move forwards, charge with full force towards a goal. Even if I'm not completely sure that's what I want to do, I need to. And I hope junior year is going to be that year of going full force towards my goals. But yeah, that's the end of the video. That is all the reasons I feel like an Ivy League failure. Everything I don't like about these prestigious schools that everyone wants to get into. Just know, just getting into the college is not enough. There is a long road ahead of you. So even if you don't get into a good college, it's not the end of the world. It might even be a better fit for you, and you might end up doing better in the long run. You'll probably do better than me. Thanks for watching this video. It's been a really long time since I've seen you guys, and honestly at this point I'm not gonna make promises anymore about coming back to YouTube. I honestly don't think anyone's gonna watch this video because it's been so long since I've been gone, and you know, everyone moves on with their life. But I don't know, I just wanted to make this video. I don't know, maybe I'll make more videos in the future. I have an actual apartment this year, so maybe I'll be able to film more and film, you know, moving into that, because I'm moving into a completely blank, empty apartment, so it's gonna be a lot of money and a lot of time going into making that place livable. I'll try my best with the month I have left to put out some content. But that's not a promise. But anyways, yes. Bye. It was nice talking to you guys.